Alright, this is problem 19 for test 4 review. We did this in the discussion, which is write an expression in simplest form that represents the area of the shaded portion of the figure. Okay, so what that means is they want this part here, and you want to picture the figure as if this is a solid part and this is like a hole in the middle. In order to get this area of the shaded part, we have to take the area of the entire rectangle and then subtract out this piece in the middle. So we'll have to have the area of the whole thing and then the area of this thing subtracted. Area of any rectangle's length times width. So if you have a rectangle, the length times the width will give you the area of the figure, which is the middle portion. This is terrible coloring in. All this middle portion. So this then would be length times width. So the width is 4x plus 2 and 3x. So we'll do that first. X plus 2 times 3x. And these are factors. And in this situation, you can look at it as distributive property. And we could do something kind of fancy here. We just did the width times the length. But let's make it so that we can do our distributive property. So we want to take this outside piece and multiply it by each of these terms. And then we'll combine like terms. So we have 3x times the 4x. Those are positive, so we get 12x. And then we're going to do 3x times the 2, which is a positive 6x. And I see a mistake here. 3x times 4x is actually 12x squared. So we have 12x squared plus 6x is the area of the entire figure. So let's type that in there. Now we have to subtract this area. Well, we don't subtract this area. We subtract the area of the smaller piece from this area. But let's calculate the area of the smaller piece. Before I move on, let's type this part. This is the This here is the calculation of the area of the large rectangle or entire figure. Okay. So then we're going to do the calculation. I'll do this part in blue. We'll do a calc. Okay, so the smaller rectangle is going to be represented by this length times the width. This length here, x, times the width here. My son is messing. Okay. So x times the 2x plus 3. And we'll type that in over here. X 3. So that we can see is an easy distributive property. So the x times the 2x would be 2x squared. And then the x times the 3 is a plus 3x. So now we have the area of the smaller rectangle. So we're going to subtract the smaller rectangle area from the larger rectangle area, which means we can take each of these equations that we created, and that one, And we will subtract. I'll take this one. And we'll see what that equals. What we can do is simply combine like terms. We have a positive 12x squared and a negative 2x squared, which will give us a 10x squared. So we'll have 10x squared. That's by putting these two together. And now we're going to do plus 6x plus 3x. That is a plus 9x. So the area of our shaded portion is 10x squared plus 9x.